What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now officially on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. Excuse me. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, excuse me, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. Excuse me. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will also open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I would pull a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did last year is a collector's rare B-Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful, you guys. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, as you guys can tell, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, excuse me, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we gotta get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are new to the channel and you're watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which basically ties with today's video, which is this. Do you guys want to see the IIconics return to WWE after over 3 years? Let me know down in the comments below. And that is exactly what we are going to be talking about for today's video. Are the rumors that the IIconics, Billy Kane, Peyton Royce, are potentially going to be coming back to WWE. Now, obviously, we all know that the Elimination Chamber this Saturday will be taking place at the Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia. And so far, WWE, as of right now, there are only 5 things that's happening on the card as of now. We've got the men's Elimination Chamber. We've got the women's Elimination Chamber. We have the women's world title, the undisputed tag titles both being defended, and we also have the Grayson Waller effect with guests the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and of course the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. And we know that later tonight WWE is hosting a press release, sort of like a prelim, if you will, a prelim show before the main show itself starts up this Saturday. Now, obviously we know that when it comes to these things, it usually gets chaotic, and this time ain't gonna be no different. And what's even more crazy is that this is one of the biggest shows that WWE has done in like a minute. It's been a minute. Excuse me. And one of the biggest surprises that we could potentially have is the possible return of the IIconics. Now, obviously, we know that Billie Kay and Peyton Royce both had actually won. Their biggest accomplishment was winning the women's tag team titles at WrestleMania. At WrestleMania in a fatal four-way that featured them, the Boston Hug Connection, the Divas of Doom, and if I remember correctly, the team of Nia Jax and Tamina, which, to be fair, we kind of knew that Sasha Banks and Bayley were going to lose the titles. We just didn't know who it was going to be, and when we saw that it was the IIconics, I can tell you one thing right now, it was something that a lot of fans didn't want, but quite a few fans were expecting it to happen, and they were okay with it. I, for one, am definitely one of those guys, but they actually had not been with WWE in over 3 years, and the last time we saw them get released by WWE on April 15th in 2021, literally just like a couple days, literally just like several days after WrestleMania 37, which that WrestleMania became one for the history books, as we got the chance to have fans return to a live event as sort of like a reward for trying to make the world safe because of the pandemic, obviously. And obviously WWE has booked only one and supposedly WWE has booked one Australian talent for Elimination Chamber so far, and that being Rhea Ripley. Obviously, with her having to defend the women's world title against Nia Jax, and a surprise return from both Kay and Royce could potentially draw a huge reaction from the crowd, which honestly I'm okay with it. I think given what Billie Kay and Peyton Royce had done in TNA, becoming their tag team champions, and obviously both Kay and Royce having kids now, which congrats to them. I think coming back to WWE more humble, if you will, could really not only draw in a huge reaction from the crowd in Perth, but by bringing them back to WWE, they could also help potentially strengthen the women's tag team division, as WWE has quite a few established tag teams. Obviously, the Kabuki Warriors is definitely one of them, part of Damage Control. You also have as well the team of Natalya and Tegan Nox, Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. You've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Obviously now they're gonna be rivals in the women's chamber match this Saturday. Who else can I think of? You also have Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. You've got quite a few tag teams in WWE so far, but I think by bringing the IIconics back to WWE and then them winning the women's tag team titles again, I think they could just the idea could be for them to return to WWE in Perth, WrestleMania. WrestleMania, they win the women's tag team titles, and they hold on to the titles for an entire calendar year, and then they end up losing them to I'll say a team like Kiana James and Izzy Dame from NXT, which honestly I like the idea, but we'll see what happens. But again, we know that they took they took a pretty decent break from the world of professional wrestling in 2022 after having a short run with their team name in TNA known as the Inspiration, and obviously they went on to win the tag team titles there, and we know that in the fall last year, Peyton Royce had her first child. Billie Kay also became a mother back in December. So it's possible that we could potentially see them both lace up the boots at some point, but we don't really know when. But what's even more interesting, what also interests me the most, and this is going to surprise you guys. The IIconics actually revealed on their own podcast called Off Her Chops, big shout out, of course. The IIconics actually revealed that WWE offered to bring them back to WWE at the Royal Rumble in 2022 as part of the Women's Royal Rumble match, and Billie Kay said, yeah, 8 or 9 months ago after our release, and Royce said it was a little bit too fresh, I think. So the idea of the IIconics coming back to WWE that soon would not have been in the cards, and they probably would have been the same IIconics that we saw when they had became tag, when they went on to become tag team champions. So it was an interesting idea, but I think it would have been way too soon. And then Peyton Royce went on to say, quote, "We certainly weren't mentally prepared to go back into it was too soon, basically." And then Billie Kay basically said, "Too much at that time. I definitely loved getting asked. I thought it was nice." And what's even more crazy is that here's what's even more interesting, because Triple H, everyone knows that when it comes to WWE, Triple H always sees potential future talent, future megastars, if you will, and with WWE now being run by Triple H, maybe it'll finally happen. Maybe we'll finally see the IIconics back in WWE. But only time will tell. But even also, But what's even more interesting is that Peyton Royce even also teased helping Bayley defeat defeat Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors leading into at WrestleMania. And she basically said let me screw this light bulb in, as like a brilliant idea, if you will. And honestly, I like the idea that we could potentially see again the idea that the Iconics could come back to WWE. It's a great idea, but what are some of the pros and cons of that idea? One of the biggest pros of this whole thing is the fact that the fans once they hear that music, they're gonna get a huge pop in Perth, Australia. But as far as the fans in the US, who knows? But I think the biggest con of all of this idea is the fact that give it about another 8 months after they have returned, they would end up the same Billie Kay and Peyton Royce that we knew from back in 2019 when they won the women's tag team titles. But only time will tell. But I will say this: the idea is great. It's a great idea. Don't know if we're going to see the Iconics return at Elimination Chamber. I know that there's been rumors that Triple H wants to bring them back, but I don't know if he really is going to. But that being said, let me know down in the comments in the comments below your thoughts on this whole situation, and do you think the Iconics should come back to WWE? Let me know down in the comments below. And that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.